Hello, everybody. Everyone there? Mhm. We're ready. No, there's no one here. Look, zero people. We'll wait a couple of moments and see if anybody arrives. Mhm. Mhm. Du-du-du. Mhm. So just waiting for some people to arrive. Du-du. Yeah. Oh, we have one person, I think. Hello, who are you? Tell me your name. Two people. Just people. Okay. Okay, everybody. Welcome to our focus activity 1013, which is a focus for advanced level learners. And today we're going to look at global language. Okay. Um, Feel free to introduce yourself, tell me where you're from, ask me any questions you like. So, today in this focus activity, we're going to look at having a friendly debate, um, phrases for presenting your position or asking for an opinion, and phrases for agreeing and disagreeing. Okay, let's move on. So, here we have some questions. Do you think the world needs a global language? Could translation be used instead? Okay, so I guess in the world today there are thousands of languages. Some languages are more widely spoken than others. For example, a lot of people speak Chinese, a lot of people speak English, a lot of people speak Spanish, but then there are lesser languages that aren't really practiced and used very often. Translation, um, for example, do you think there's a difference between translation and interpretation? Is translation the interpretation of a person? Yeah, it's curious. Um, which language should be used as a global language and why? What do you think? For example, should we use English as a global language? What would the reasons for that be? Should we use Chinese for a global language? It could be very interesting. Could we use another language that's a lesser known language, for example, like French or even Italian? It would be very fun, yeah? Imagine that Italian was the global language. And what do you think is causing such a huge demand for English at this moment? Is it for work? Is it for study? What do you think are the reasons? Okay. Mhm. Mhm. I have my colleague, Melissa. Join us, Melissa. Hey, everyone. Melissa can give you her ideas and opinions on global languages. I'll just pass the headphones to Melissa.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everybody. Do you think the world needs a global language? Well, I don't know. I personally, my opinion, I think it would take a lot of spice out of life. I think if we all spoke the same language, I think the different ways we have to share our thoughts and opinions on things would be taken away from us if we all spoke a single language. What do you think about that, Michael?
I agree completely. I think having a global language would make us all the same, and I think we should celebrate our diversity, celebrate the fact that we're all different.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about translation, Melissa?
Well, I think you posed a very interesting question, Michael, about translation versus interpretation. I think translation could not always result in accurate interpretation, which would raise a whole group of other issues.
For example, with certain books and novels, when certain people translate books from different languages. In my opinion, some of the books I've read, having read them in English and maybe in another language, some of the meaning or the feeling of the book can be quite easily lost in translation because it's a person's personal interpretation of what they
exactly.
see the language.
I think it's something we even experience in our lessons sometimes. If there's some Italian to English, and we can see sometimes that accurate interpretation is lost in what we're really trying to express.
And what do you reckon about a global language? Which one do you think we should use and why?
Well, I think we're a bit biased in answering this question. I have heard a lot of people argue that that Chinese Mandarin is something that could become a global language in the future. But like I said, I'm quite biased when it comes to answering this question.
I think with Chinese there will be a lot of difficulty because it's a completely different alphabet, written in a completely different way. There could be a lot of difficulty for us, people who use the typical.
Absolutely.
Remember the name of the alphabet?
No, I don't know it either. Yeah, it's not something I can even wrap my head around beginning to learn, to be honest.
But I think it would be very interesting if there was a language that was very obscure. We chose that for the global language. For example, not being biased, but for example, Irish would be a quite funny language. That's a global language. What do you think?
I agree. I agree. Hearing some of the phrases and expressions that I've heard, I think we would learn some very new and original ways to express ourselves with Irish.
Or for example, imagine we took English as a global language. What do you think what do you think the benefits would be of choosing English? Apart from that, it would be very easy for me and you, in general.
I think there would be spillover effects into things like, obviously business and trade and things like that. That there would be a lot of advantages, even politically and health-wise. I think all those bigger picture type things would definitely benefit from having a global language.
Looks like we have here Anna Maria.
Hello, Anna Maria. Welcome.
Can she hear us both okay?
Yeah, can you hear us both okay over there? Anna Maria and Lisa? Hi,
Okay.
Michele.
Hey, Michele. Thank you. Okay, Michele says, I guess it depends on the field, but the economical strength of countries such as US and UK led to have English as the world language. Do you agree with me? Completely, Michele. I think that's a very good point, a very valid point. And because English is spoken in the US and UK, they are powerhouses of the world
Mm.
economically and politically. So that language has a lot of weight. Yeah, I agree. Well done, Michele. Good answer.
Mm.
What about Anna Maria? What do you think about which language should be used as a global language? Anna Maria's surname's like yours.
Yeah, it's almost like mine. I'll give these back over to you, Michael. Okay.
Anna, ask Anna Maria number 2. What?
Anna Maria, question number 2. If you could choose a global language, what do you think a global language should be and why? You're very welcome, Michaela. It's our pleasure.
Welcome, Michele.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for being with us. Okay, so I guess if no other answers, we can move on
Yeah.
to number 3. Lisa, what do you think is causing such a huge demand for English?
In my opinion, I think the opportunities that come with speaking English. I think people see it as a door opener. What do you think?
I agree completely. I think English allows people to have more opportunities.
Mm.
It allows, as you said, open doors. So yeah, definitely. Anna Maria just made a really interesting and beautiful comment. Probably a language of peace. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really nice, Anna
That's
Maria.
lovely.
Very good.
Mm.
For example, a language of peace. What do you think is a
Yeah.
language of peace?
That's a hard question to answer in this current climate. I think that might have to be a new language. Maybe we need to create one, Anna Maria. Yeah. Yes.
Let's move on. Have a look at what
Okay. So some debate language. We have phrases for asking for an opinion and phrases for presenting an opinion. You can see at the top, it asks us when we're using these phrases to emphasize the words that we think are most important. What are your thoughts about? What are your thoughts about a global language, for example? How do you feel about English as a global language? As far as I'm concerned, a global language would not be very interesting for communication in the future. Personally, I think English as a global language would be the obvious choice.
Okay, cool, fantastic. So putting emphasis on the words you think are most important. I don't know. What are your thoughts about um, Italian as a global language?
Huh. In my opinion, Italian as a global language would be, I think, challenging to achieve. Neapolitan as a global language, impossible. And you?
I think, yeah, maybe things could have been different in history. We could be all speaking Italian. We could have been all speaking Spanish or another language. But yeah, I agree. I think each language has its challenges. But for us, we're very lucky because English is a global language.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are very lucky.
Number 2, how do you feel about How do you here? An interesting question for our students. How do you feel about phrasal verbs?
I'd love to hear your opinion on that, guys. How do you feel about phrasal verbs? Give us your opinions on phrasal verbs.
Oh, I missed out a no.
Anna Maria, Michele, how do you feel about phrasal verbs? We usually receive a fairly common response to a question like that here. Ah, wow, fantastic answer. Well done, Anna Maria. Great use of your phrasal verbs. Yes, they are. They are very, very challenging.
Michele,
Okay.
Michele there?
And Michaela, are you still there? Great answers. Well done. I would say that my phrasal verb, favorite phrasal verb is don't put off tomorrow what you can do today.
Wow.
Fantastic. Fantastic, Michele. Well done. Lovely phrasal verbs coming through. Thanks, guys. All right, fantastic.
Ooh, some really, really cool, really beautiful answers.
Yeah, thank you.
So, could you, we could ask them to put their answer using this target.
Hmm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, phrasal verbs are fantastic. Or personally, I think phrasal verbs are
The devil.
an absolute nightmare. Do you want to try, guys? And
Yeah, try using the presenting your opinion phrases and share your opinion on phrasal verbs. Oops. For example, as far as I'm concerned, phrasal verbs are as easy as pie. Easy as pie. or personally, I think phrasal verbs are the devil.
fantastic, Anna Maria. Good answer.
Great answer. As far as I'm concerned, I like English, even though I should keep on studying.
Very good.
Very good. As far as I'm concerned, I need to learn more and more phrasal verbs. I think it's a never ending journey, phrasal verbs. Personally, I think phrasal verbs
are
the devil. Have a try with this phrase.
like pineapple on pizza. The devil.
Ah,
We'll come back to that.
that's subjective, or is it? Okay.
Anna Marie, Michaela, we want to have a wee practice with personally, I think. Okay, Anna Marie said, personally, I reckon.
Oh, very good, Michaela.
The spicy part of English.
Very nice.
That's a spicy answer, Michaela.
It
Well
is
done.
a spicy answer, a rare answer. Very, very nice. Yeah, very good.
Mastery of English language.
Yes, great job. And Anna Maria, yeah, fond of phrasal verbs. Good. Very good.
Good answer.
Very good.
And
Anna Maria, generally speaking, English people are fond of phrasal verbs because they have their private language.
interesting.
Yeah, very good.
So we give you well done as well.
Yes. Anna Maria is the top dog of phrasal verbs. Good to hear. We can see from your responses. Very good.
Fantastic. Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the next slide, which is
Some debate language. Okay, again, some phrases for agreeing and phrases for disagreeing. Remember from the introduction, these are friendly phrases to use when we are debating. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Totally. I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more.
Now we have to disagree.
Uh,
No, not yet.
I completely agree.
Completely agree.
Completely.
To disagree.
And now to disagree. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. I can't. I'm afraid that just isn't right. I'm not so sure about that. So, if you listen to the way that we shared those phrases for agreeing or disagreeing, in the first ones for agreeing, number one, what do you think was the word or words that were most important to emphasize in that first phrase?
For example, with Michaeli's statement, I reckon phrasal verbs are the spicy part of English. Michaeli, I totally agree with you on that sentence, for sure.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Anna Maria, she said, I am the top dog of phrasal verbs. Anna Maria, I completely agree also. Completely agree.
Completely.
Top dog.
Yeah, totally would be the emphasis for the first phrase, definitely. And what about the other phrases?
So, for example, something that we disagree on, I don't know. The weather in Ireland is better than the weather in Australia.
Oh, I'm sorry. I cannot agree with that. It's impossible to agree with that.
Very good. Michaela, Anna Maria.
Yeah. Yep.
More completely.
What do you think about that, Michaela and Anna Maria, that the weather in Ireland is better than the weather in Australia? What's your opinion? Anna Maria completely agrees. That's very diplomatic of you, Anna Maria. Mhm.
Anna Maria, I like both. Very good. Diplomatic.
Yes.
Michele, if you like the rain, Michele completely agree.
Mm.
It rains quite often in Ireland. Does it rain often in Australia?
Not where I'm from, on the west side. Not at all. I am quite often made fun of for my perception of what winter is, coming from the west side of Australia. Well done.
Okay, let's move on.
Mm.
Yeah? A little bit of
Okay.
conversation here. So, Melissa, do you think having a global language is a threat to individual cultures?
I absolutely do. I think with a single global language, that cultures, individual cultures, could get lost over time. Do you agree?
I completely agree. I think that the language is a gateway. It's like a mirror or reflection to culture.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
Remember to use your debate phrases. You think having a global language is a threat to individual cultures? What do you think?
Anna Maria, if you could maybe try and use a phrasal verb in your answer.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Anna Maria totally agrees. Yeah, absolutely. Having a global language isn't a threat to.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. Both are very good answers.
Yeah, yeah.
An opportunity to improve, definitely.
Do you agree with Michele there, Anna Maria?
Very good answer.
Yeah.
Really good answer. Fantastic. Yeah.
Very broad thinking.
Yeah. And a good command of the language.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Expressing your ideas and opinions very, very well.
What about number two? This this could be a spicy.
Yes.
So,
If English is the global language, which standard should we use? I suppose this is asking standard English, American English,
Irish English,
Australian English, if that's a thing.
There's a lot of English.
Yeah.
All over the world.
And standards within those standards as well. So it poses a whole new question.
Okay, standard. So, Michele, not the level, but for example, standard as in something that we all agree on and we use together. So, for example, the standard could be that everybody speaks British English, or everyone speaks Irish English with an Irish accent like me, or everyone speaks
Australian English like me.
So, not standard in terms of the level, but standard in terms of something that's completely agreed upon and accepted and used by
Everybody in the same way. If you imagine the different types of English we have, similar to the different dialects of Italian, and we would agree on that one standard.
RP, Anna Maria has just come up with the RP.
Ah.
Interesting answer, Anna Maria.
Mm.
Yeah, and as Michele points out, there are plenty of different English.
Yes, there are many different.
So, guys, if you had to choose one, what would you choose? But not RP, a different one.
A different standard.
Pronunciation from the BBC. Very
Okay.
interesting answer.
Yeah.
BBC is a British Broadcasting Corporation.
Mhm.
In Ireland, we have Radio Telefís, which is the Irish one. What do you have in Australia?
We have a few different news networks. Not really a main one. We have we have a few different ones that run through different networks.
Michele would choose British English.
Hmm.
Okay. Good choice, Michele.
Yeah, I think that would be a dominant answer. Why do you think that would be the?
Sure. I think maybe because in the past, before learning English became something very global, it was the most accepted sort of standard of English that was used. But now, with, for example, air travel, cheap flights, I think the world's become a smaller place. So people are being exposed more often to people from Ireland, people from Australia, people from New Zealand, all parts of America. That's what I think. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think people see British English as the place where English evolved from, the original standard base form of English. And maybe even for that reason, the best standard to use, the best form to learn.
Yeah, I guess it's just personal taste,
Yeah.
opinion,
And exposure, I guess.
what you feel more comfortable with is the best for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to the. Okay, so I think what we can do here is we can read out some statements, and then if you want, Michele and Anna Maria, you want to answer using the phrases for agreeing or disagreeing. Yeah, so you can read them and I'll.
Okay. So, first thing we could debate about is the use of plastic bottles, single-use plastic. Oh, plastic bottles. Sorry.
Use of single-use
Plastic.
bottles.
So, with our debate language on the screen, what are your opinions on that, Michele and Anna Maria, and anyone else who might be with us? Feel free to share your opinion.
Good thing, a bad thing.
As far as I'm concerned, Michael, I think it's something that shouldn't be an option for us anymore. It's not something that we need to be doing anymore.
Yeah, I agree completely. The negative impacts of plastic bottles completely outweigh the positive usage of it.
Absolutely.
Michele, what do you think? Anna Maria, any ideas? Yeah, so we all seem to be in agreement.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Let's try one more.
Putting pineapple on pizza. What's your opinion? How do you feel about pineapple on pizza, Michael? Be careful here.
To be quite honest, I think it should be illegal. It should be a criminal offense to put pineapple on pizza. In my humble opinion, it's completely wrong. Anna Maria is marking saying that she used. Michaela, very good. Let's drink to this.
Very good. Wonderful debating phrases, Michaela.
But guys, what about pineapple on pizza? What do you reckon?
What do you think? Ah. And you, Michele, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
What do you think, Melissa?
I don't know if I don't know if I'm in a safe space here. I'm on the fence. Let's say I'm on the fence with pineapple on pizza. But maybe I shouldn't have told these guys my name if that's going to be my my response.
Michele, never tried, but one day I could.
Okay.
A very open,
yes.
open-minded answer. Well done, Michele.
Excellent.
Anna Maria, anything about pineapple on pizza?
What are your thoughts?
I'm afraid that isn't right. Maybe. I'm not so sure about that. We love you too, Mary G. Would you like us to suggest? I suggest no. So I guess it's our time to wrap it up. Wrap up. We're very sorry about the
yes, the technical difficulties.
Very, very, very sorry. We promise it won't happen again. Michele and Anna Maria, you're being fantastic.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining us.
And bye-bye. See you later.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye.